Welcome to the Nana Cheche Show. I'm super excited to be sitting down with Mrs. Gifty Enright. She is the author of this amazing book that just launched on International Women's Day. The book is called Octopus on a Treadmill, and it's about women, success, health, and happiness. And we're going to be talking about this book and how her journey began. She is an awesome lady. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Gifty, you don't mind me calling you Gifty?
No, please.
You are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God, I'll be blushing now. Yes.
You know, when we were introduced and I give her a call, she was like, "Hello, Nana, how are you?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I need to go and study my English properly," you know. And then I come to her house and she goes, "Ebusia," and I'm like, "Yay, she speaks my language." Ebusia means family. And she lives in a beautiful, beautiful home somewhere in St. Albans in Hertfordshire. Thank you for inviting me to your awesome
Very welcome.
home.
My pleasure.
And I want us to talk about the book, but before we talk about Octopus on a Treadmill, I want you to tell our audience how your name and how your journey began.
Okay. So, of course, I'm Gifty Enright. How my journey began and what made me write the book, because when it came out, people started asking me all sorts of questions, so I've been answering a few of those. I must say the reception of the book has been overwhelming. We're currently sitting at number 14 in the Amazon hot releases, I think they're calling it, in the self-help group. And I'm glad that women are getting this message, because when I was going through my issues, I felt very challenged, I felt lonely, I felt isolated, I felt I couldn't talk to anybody about it, because I was in my early 40s at that time, and suddenly...
Early 40s?
Yes.
So if you were in your early 40s, now you are...
50.
You are 50?
Yes, I'll be 51 in August.
Wow, she is 50. Isn't she beautiful?
Thank you. She's fast becoming my new best friend. Thank you very much. But basically, I found myself standing by a tube station on my way to Harley Street to see a private consultant. I had a list of 14 symptoms that I was tracking. And I was tracking this because, and I was tracking it on a spreadsheet because I trained as an accountant. So spreadsheets are very familiar to me.
Okay.
And I had my symptoms on a spreadsheet, and every month I would track it to see, am I getting better, am I getting worse?
Wow.
And you know, I'd done the rounds on the NHS, I was getting nowhere, and my husband insisted I go private, and that's how I found myself standing at Harley Street on my way to see a consultant with my list of 14 symptoms.
So in the book, you've written the road to Damascus in chapter 4, and some of the symptoms that she wrote down on her spreadsheet. You know, accountants they are my best friends. Everything is detailed. Night sweats, achy joints, foggy brain, memory loss, sore breasts. And when I saw the sore breasts, I said, "But Gifty, you haven't got, like, you know." So how come there's sore breasts? But we had this, and when we talk about this, and we were laughing. Headaches, you know, heavy periods and irregular periods, which most of this is in this day and age that we live in. A lot of people can identify themselves. So why did you think that this was like something of a big issue?
That's a good question, and there's more symptoms on the
I'm going there.
So heavy periods and irregular periods, people accept it as the norm, and it's not the norm, you know. And unfortunately, I think, and it's a high percentage, I forget. So in the general population, it's about 1 in 3 women suffers from fibroids, something high like that. When you switch it to the African demographic, then ours is a lot higher, where more than 50-60% of us suffer from fibroids. And that is what leads to the heavy periods. And fibroids is a symptom of a hormone imbalance.
Really?
Yes. And And because we don't know that, and we don't eat for our health, but we accept, that we're going to have heavy periods. So when I was growing up, yes, in Ghana, the women there, periods were a big deal, and the heavy periods, and it was accepted that that is something women have to suffer. And no, we don't have to suffer that. We don't have to. And so once you know how to take care of yourself and you live well and you balance your hormones, you should not be having this. And of course, I was suffering from this because I was having an onset of an early menopause. And this was, I was 42, and the average age for menopause is 50. I was 6 years away, and there I was, and 44 was when I started tracking. I had been suffering from these issues for a while. And so it just didn't make sense that, this was happening. And I thought, rather than having a victim mentality, I am going to go and find out what I can do about this. And for me, this is a women's issue. It's a women's health issue. And people need to be aware we can help ourselves, and we don't have to be medicated. And I'm passionate about educating other women about how we can support our lifestyles and our health.
So I had Ghana in it. You were born in Ghana.
Yes.
You grew up in Ghana?
I was born in
Kumasi.
Yes.
Kumasi.
Yes. Yes.
And how old were you when you came to England?
So I was 20 when I came over to England.
Oh, okay.
So I finished, I did my sixth form, went up to sixth form in Ghana, and then did my national service for 1 year in Ghana. I taught in Wesley Girls. So I went to Wesley Girls, and I taught there. Yay! And I taught there for 1 year. I taught English there for 1 year as my national service, and then after that I came over to England.
Okay, so you see, Nana is going to be polishing her English. She's going to teach me. But also you had urinary infections and
recurring urinary infections.
Yeah. And when you mentioned fibroids, I know now it's on a higher rate in the African Caribbean community. Yeah. And so you think there is a cure for fibroid?
So there is, so normally people resort to surgery, right? And the fibroids don't just happen overnight. It takes time to build up, and it's a hormone imbalance issue. Basically, it's estrogen dominance that causes the fibroid. So women are producing too much estrogen, and there's no way of getting rid of it. So one of the things to get rid of estrogen, excess estrogen, basically, is through your stools and stuff. But you can see from my symptoms, constipation was one of them. So if I was constipated, then I was getting the buildup of the estrogen as well. So you become estrogen dominant, and that is what feeds the fibroids, because the fibroids need the estrogen. So if once you manage your hormones and you're not estrogen dominant, then the fibroids aren't being fed. So you can do the preventative thing, and that then stops them from growing anymore. And then obviously there are other issues, other measures to try and eliminate them, but that is a longer term issue to try and eliminate them. But it is a change in lifestyle. People just want a magic bullet, and the magic bullet tends to be surgery, where you go and they scrape it out or whatever, cut it out, whatever it is. There are all sorts of options now to do it. But no, once you know, and then this is what I'm passionate, I think our girls need to be educated about this. Eating well for your health, doing the sort of things you need to do so you don't end up at 40 and have your road to Damascus at Harley Street. Okay, there is more information in this book, and so we'll come to where you can find and buy the book. But you're a mother, you're a wife, and you were working then. Going back and forwards, taking care of the home. We say women wear many hats. How are you balancing this? So I had to learn to balance this. So before this, I wasn't balancing. I was being the superwoman, and I was trying to do everything, which is stupid. And a lot of women wear all these many hats, and we're trying to do everything, and we don't ask for help. And this is what I've learned on my journey. So when the book came out, people asked, how did you even find the time to do this? Because I've got a full-time job, I've got a business on the side as well, and then I decided to write a book. Any one of these three things is a full-time endeavor in its own right, okay? So it was having to balance this. And I say, full-time job, business on the side, writing a book, and then 2 children, right? 2 boys.
And a husband. With the big boy.
A husband, and not to mention 2 dogs. One of them is called the Yaya, Sparky and Yaya.
Yeah,
and
very huge, big. They
2
have to love
Labradors.
them.
Yes, and it's a lot for any. And most people will have a full-time job, and that's it. Some people just wives and mothers and looking after their children. I say just that it's a full-time endeavor on its own.
Yes.
Right. And then, you try and combine all these things. It's crazy making, absolutely crazy making. But I didn't know what I didn't know. And I thought, I'm going to be there, superwoman, blah, blah, blah. And your body, if you're not kind to your body, if you're not kind to yourself, if you have a crazy lifestyle, your body has a way of stopping you in your tracks. And that's exactly what happened to me.
And so how did you say enough is enough? You went to Harley Street, you showed them your spreadsheet.
Yes.
And what did the doctor say?
So basically he did a test, to test my hormones and everything and blah, blah, blah. And he said, yes, okay, here you are, you need HRT. Okay. And he gave me HRT, and he said you can also have surgery. You can also have surgery to basically remove your uterus and stuff like that. There'll be no more heavy bleeding. And I'm thinking, this is a bit drastic, right? And meanwhile, before that, I'd been to my doctor, my local GP, and blah, blah, blah. And they also done a test, and then, yeah, whatever. You'll be fine. This is normal, blah, blah, blah. The tiredness, whatever. You got children, you're supposed to be tired, and all this. So I had a choice of, the NHS ignoring me or going private and literally walking out of the office with HRT. And I thought...
And which is expensive. Harley Street is very expensive.
Yes. Yeah, so I thought, I could... and then it's a lifetime of being on HRT until, hit the menopause. So, and, some people...
And HRT is for... our audience, maybe somebody will be saying, what is HRT?
So hormone replacement therapy. Okay. So the hormones that your body's not producing naturally by itself, they give you those things. So I was going to have to take testosterone, I was going to have to take progesterone, and I was going to have to take estrogen. And this, I had fibroids. Estrogen means that fibroids mean you're producing too much estrogen, but then I was being given more estrogen, right? Nobody was trying to deal with, the constipation to get rid of the extra estrogen. It's like, here we go, have more. Luckily, I did my own research, and I knew I didn't want to be on HRT for another 15 years because, you can literally still keep going. Some people don't hit the menopause until 55. Now, I have always been a late developer. When you're saying that I don't have big breasts, it's because when I was at school...
I did not say you don't.
When we were at school, everybody was developing breasts and everybody was... And I was still walking there, no breasts, no nothing. I could have
So what were you putting in there?
Exactly, right. I bought my friend's bra, because I didn't have anything to put in the bra, and I used to stuff it, right? Yeah, and the bra was too big, and I tied it like a knot behind me, so it would, it would stay, because my mom wouldn't get me a bra because I had nothing to put in the bra, but everybody was wearing a bra, right? Yeah. So I was a late developer. I was one of the last people in my year group to have a period. So I knew that, and that determines, normally that is indicative of when you will be hitting the menopause. So I knew I'd be one of those late developers on that front as well, right? So I just thought, I can't take this chance. I really can't take this chance. I've got to do something. Otherwise, there's going to be another, God knows, 10 years on HRT. And no, I didn't want to do that.
Oh, wow. So you did the research, and then you started living a healthy life. Yes. Or you decided to change your lifestyle.
I had to change my lifestyle completely change my lifestyle. I had to change what I ate, completely, basically cut out meat. I mean, I eat fish, but I don't eat meat. Basically cut out meat, because I learned more about this and knew that the sort of things that were inflaming the hormone disorder was coming from all these things they put in the meat, like the hormones they put in. Oh God, anyway, let's not even go there. So I had to cut out all that, and then start eliminating. So there was a diet bit, and then I had organic, so I only eat organic now.
Hence the raw cocoa.
Yeah, yes,
it's raw cocoa, but when I got here they say it's raw cocoa. So those of us from Ghana, the raw cocoa Gifty's made me raw cocoa, which is got raw cocoa, And what else did you put
So
in?
it's dairy free. So we got raw cacao, we've got almond milk, we've got honey,
Yeah.
and we've got ashwagandha.
Okay, so by the time I leave out of this place, my healthy lifestyle begins. So you changed eating meat?
Yeah, I changed the way I ate, and before that, exercise to me was like, I don't do sweat. I am not exercising. I hate exercising. I don't do sweat. I'm not doing it. And then I realized that, you know, it is not an option. It's a need. I have to do it. I have to include it in my life. I mean, I love walking, you know, and as you know, I got the dogs and they don't complain when I take them for walks, but now I had to build it into my life. So I had to change what I ate. I had to build exercise into my life. I had to make sure, and this is huge, I was having 8 hours sleep every night. This is huge. And I was I was religious about this, because the chronic tiredness, you know, and the foggy brain, that was all to do with lack of sleep and burning that candle both ends. And so I had to be religious about that and fight my tiredness and make sure I was getting, you know, the sleep and everything. And then, of course, because in my book I talk about mind, body, spirit. So the body was taking care of the physical side of things, you know, and then, of course, you know, you have to read good stuff to feed your brain, you know, and to stay positive. And the spirit, I am a very spiritual person, big on meditation. I've been doing this for as long as I can remember. Different people have their different ways of getting their spirituality, you know, each to their own. But you need some spiritual anchor to help you to stay the course. You need, because sometimes we don't believe in ourselves enough and we think I can't do it or whatever it is. But you need that anchor for you to be able to go to and know that, you know, you can do it, and you know, is not just by your own, because we underestimate our abilities.
You also talk about happiness.
Yes.
Do you like to? I want you to stress on the happiness.
Yes. So and again, it's in the book. I there's a chapter called the ladder against the wrong wall. All right, or yes. So basically, when I was growing up, I thought I would study hard, get the big job.
Join the club.
Right? Get the fancy husband, the car, the whatever, the house and whatever, and then I'll be happy. Right? So that was what I was striving for. Not remembering to be happy along the way, because I hadn't got those things. And, you know, so basically you waste your life striving for these things because you think that is what will make you happy. And then you get that and you think, okay, I'm here now, what next? And then you realize that actually, no, that is not what makes you happy. You know, happiness comes from within, and happiness comes from waking up in the morning and focusing on the positives and basically being grateful, right, for what you have, not taking what you have for granted. Happiness comes from having loving, sustaining relationships, and those relationships don't happen by themselves. You have to put the effort into it. You have to cultivate those relationships. You have to be supportive to people so they can support you. That sense of connectedness, that is what supports you and makes you feel less stressed out and makes you happy. Not the big car, not the fancy gates. No.
You know, talking about connectedness.
Yeah.
We live, you know, I'm very big on relationship and staying connected. And we, you know, nowadays, because we have all the WhatsApps and social media and all that, we are not connected anymore. It's like silent communication.
Yes.
Where, and I'm big on this, and I know some people might not be happy, but you want somebody to come to your event, or you want somebody to do something for you. You don't pick up a phone and call the person. Like we were introduced by email or through a mutual cousin.
Yeah.
But I pick up. You called me.
Yeah.
And I called you back, and the communication started. Then we went on into email, and then the next thing is I'm here. But some people would just send an invitation via WhatsApp without calling to see whether you exist or not.
Yeah.
Messenger.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Instagram. Do you think it's right?
And do I think it's right? So interestingly, now we have all this. We have more materially. This social media, but people feel more isolated. because the true connection, as she said, is looking into somebody's eyes, right? It's one of the fastest ways to release stress is actually hug somebody.
So, yeah, as we were saying about social media, you think people should reach out more?
Yes, so it's good for maintaining connection, like quick, hey, I'm thinking about you, that sort of thing. But it is not a substitute for actually meeting somebody, looking in their eyes, hugging somebody. It is not a substitute, but it's just good for maintaining things and stuff, yes.
Awesome. We're still talking about the book Octopus on a Treadmill. How did you come about this name?
And full credit to my husband.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Full credit
Mr. Enright?
Yes, because I was there throwing all sorts of different names around and blah, blah, blah. And actually, I was going to call the book How to Live Without Prozac. Because, it's endemic at the moment. And again, I say in the book, 1 in 3 women is on some sort of antidepressant or other, And it's because our lifestyles are not structured to support us. And it's just doing that, accepting that, we've got 8 arms and at any point we've got, 8 balls juggling. We accept that and we say, okay, how is this hurting me? How can I support myself? What do I need to do? What can I delegate to whom? Who can I ask for help? And if you're asking somebody for help, you will have to ring them.
Yeah, of course.
And you can't ask them for help if you haven't been there for them.
You haven't called me like 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. You haven't been there for them. It's that sense of community. Luckily, I live in this place. There's not that many of us. Everybody knows everybody. How many are you
in this area?
It's about 28.
28 people?
Yeah.
Wow.
And everybody knows everybody. And we have, summer barbecues, get together there. We all say everybody takes something and we all sit. And then we have like bonfire night. We all go round. Somebody makes jacket potato and we all do that. And I love the fact that I know my neighbors. I love the fact that one of my neighbors has been raving about the book on Facebook. And we have a neighborhood forum thing on Facebook,
Okay.
And she's been raving about it. She told everybody's been congratulating me. And I love that fact. I value community and the sense of community and connectedness. I was really surprised when I came to this country and you just don't know your neighbor. How can you live like that?
Yeah.
And I know how important sense of community is for our well-being. It's just here is minimized. People think they can live in isolation. No. People, and I mean, there's research to show that loneliness is actually more detrimental than smoking. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I put that fact in the book so people can see that.
If you want to live, there is a heaven on earth. People can live that peaceful, joyful, healthy life, and this is one of the books. You might say, oh, there's so many books about it, but this is the book. You have to get it, especially it's Mother's Day. You want to treat your mother, you want to treat your grandmother, you want to treat your wife. You want to treat all the ladies in your life, and not just the ladies. Even as a man, you can get it and read it. Octopus on a Treadmill by Gifty Enright is about women, success, health, and happiness. And I can see, when you meet some people, you can feel the aura around them. And I am just feeling that aura. And Octopus on a Treadmill will teach you how the right foods can heal and make you feel great. How a little exercise improves every area of your life. So those of you who don't like exercising, how to stabilize and transform your emotional well-being. I know women, we're all over the place sometimes. How and why to make space for spirituality. This one, we can't even stress on it. And how to manage your time and fit it all in. We always say, oh, I don't have time. Ration, going 24/7 and still don't have time and we're still broke. But you can make the time, fit it in, and do the best of the best and live your purpose and a healthy lifestyle. So Octopus on a Treadmill, she's going to sign my one. And where can we get the book?
It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
So you can download it on Amazon, and you can get it on the Kindle. There's a Kindle version on Amazon as well.
Okay. And what about you on social media as well? What are your social media platforms?
So and now I have to try and brush up on those. But there is a Facebook page, Gifty Enright. There's a Facebook page. There is a LinkedIn page. There is a Twitter feed. The Twitter is at Gifty Enright, but I think it's Gifty_Enright.
Okay.
What was the other one? There's Instagram as well. So it's Gifty Enright. So if you Google that,
Google her, she will pop up.
Yeah, or go to my website and you get all the social media links on the website as well.
And what is the website?
GiftyEnright.com.
GiftyEnright.com. And I tell you, this lady is amazing. Watch out for her. Watch out for her maiden book and more books to follow. Octopus on a Treadmill. I tell you, if you want to be a happy lady, if you want to be a healthy lady, if you want to, be that woman, that virtuous woman, that everything is on point. And yes, it can happen. It is happening. And she said it. Your mind, your mindset, that is the key as well. All is in this book. Get it this Mother's Day, and I tell you, you're going to be a blessing to someone. Gifty, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
And I want you to share, some of the ingredients in this, so that the raw caca to end it.
Yes, so and this is so normally my children get upset because they know that I switch everything. So when I cook, first of all, they're like, "Mom, what's in that?" Because they're very suspicious of everything. So normally people will have hot chocolate, and hot chocolate is lovely.
Okay, me as a Ghanaian say hot chocolate.
Yes.
And you say hot chocolate.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. So yeah, and all children love hot chocolate. So, but now I take all the things that we're now knowing is not good enough. I write a blog. There's a blog on my website, and the last one was research that just came out in the British Medical Journal about processed food being bad for you and blah, 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 blah. And I've known this for like 100 years, but anyway. So for my children, I swap things, and I have to, after the swap, still make it taste like it tasted before. Otherwise, they won't eat it.
Okay.
So for my hot chocolate, what I have is raw cacao, because if you buy the normal chocolate, whatever,
powder,
it's full of sugar and all sorts of God knows what. So the raw cacao is just the pure cocoa, nothing else, right? So I have that, and then I use almond milk because I am actually lactose intolerant.
Okay.
So I can't have dairy, and then also there's all sorts of things about dairy anyway. But unless, all sorts of things.
My lifestyle has changed.
All sorts of things about dairy, especially if you have a hormone imbalance, blah, blah. Anyway, so this is dairy free because I'm using almond milk. And then for sugar, I switch sugar and I use honey instead. And I mean, sugar, as in if you look at the biological component, as in, the sugar element in honey. But with honey, you get all these biotic effects as well with honey. So you're getting more. It's not just sugar with the honey. So you put, and then ginger. Ginger is good for your digestion. Everybody knows this. Ginger is good. When we were growing up in Ghana, we were planting ginger. We didn't even know why. But ginger is good for your digestion. So you put that in. And then the last bit, which I don't give that to my children, I give that for myself, is ashwagandha. And ashwagandha basically is good for stress and helps liver, blah, blah, blah. But for them, it would just be raw cacao, almond milk, ginger, and perhaps with them I won't put too much ginger. I love my ginger strong, and then honey. You cannot go wrong with that.
Wow, thank you so much, Gifty, for having me.
My pleasure.
And we look forward to your book on the bestseller list as of yesterday. It's rising already, so you want to get Octopus on a Treadmill. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, guys.